Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Guardian Cast. And today we're going to be talking about basically just everything that I've been going through over the past week whenever it comes to Destiny 2 and what all's been going on. So, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy your stay here, and I hope that maybe I can be the voice in the background while you play Destiny or while you are just hanging out doing whatever. But today, our big topic is going to be the Red War, and we'll get to that in just a little while. Um, First things first, Iron Banner is back, and I've been playing that and getting absolutely destroyed. Uh, I've done okay. I've won more matches of Iron Banner than I've lost, but me personally, I keep getting destroyed in every single game. Let's see. I recently finished up all of the campaign missions for Destiny 2. So we finished up the Red War. We did Trials of Osiris, Warmind, Forsaken, and Shadowkeep. We're waiting for September for the new release to come out. I was trying to get caught up so that I could see, what all was going on with that. And I'm glad that I did. It was a good experience all the way around. I recently also, in finishing up the campaign, I got my Warlock up to Overlight level 1000. He's currently at like 1008, I think, at the time of this recording. And he's basically become my main character, which is funny because normally I'm a Titan character. Like, I like to play Titans because they remind me a lot of Spartans. And I'm a huge Halo fan and have been most of my life. But I've been playing Warlock a lot here recently. Um, you're going to hear a lot of ums and ahs because this is kind of off the cuff and I'm not talking to anyone else. And doing this alone is a new experience for me, but we'll get through it. Everything's fine. We, of course, I stream over on Trovo. That's trovo.live/DrewMoShow. It'll be in the description below. Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, we only play Destiny over there as of right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for stream this coming up week, but I think that basically I'm going to play a lot of Iron Banner before that leaves because I need to finish up my bounties and the quest if I can. But I'm kind of unsure on what to do as far as in-game content because basically I have an issue to where I want to do nightfalls and strikes and raids and things of that nature. I want to do those, but I don't have anyone to really do them with yet because I don't have a whole lot of friends who play Destiny. So it's kind of hard because a lot of the people that I've met through streaming and stuff, they play on PC. So it makes it kind of difficult. I tried to do a Nightfall by myself and it didn't really work out too well. It wasn't really that successful. But I think maybe through this and through streaming, I can eventually find some people to play with. And hopefully we can get some strikes and raids and stuff going on. That would be fun, I think. I know a buddy of mine, I'll shout him out, the RB3. He he's going to focus on some more offline content, but I think he does a lot of strikes and things like that. They always look fun to me. I've also been catching up a lot with the Halo lore pages on YouTube. Like My Name is Bife and Ethan. I forget the rest of his handle. Sorry about that. But they're both really good channels, and I've been enjoying those a lot. I also wrote up some stuff and sent it to Bungie, and I'll update you guys on that more once we get to the point to where, like, it makes sense. Like, I'm waiting on an email to come back first because I don't want to jump the gun on it. I want to, like, really give it time to settle. Another thing that I'm kind of going on in my head right now with the Guardian cast is I thought about moving it to just every Saturday, but then I would only be getting one episode a week. And not that I don't want to only record one episode a week, because that would lighten my schedule a lot, but I don't know. I think that it would be nice just to put these out as I do them and just not worry about a schedule for them really for right now. Because, I mean, it's not like there's a huge following for these yet. And then I could just get as many out as I wanted to record when I wanted to record them. I'm not sure. I'm still not 100% set on a time for all this yet. I do think that the RuneScape videos are going to be ending on my channel pretty soon, because I haven't really been playing it very much. So I've been moving a lot more towards Destiny related stuff because I have a lot of fun playing Destiny. And I'm just kind of holding off to replay through the campaigns again because I need to do it with my Titan and my Hunter. But I just really don't want to sit down and grind those all out again this fast. But anyway, that's just been some updates about me and what all is going on in my life. But this is the first episode, and I'm really glad that you guys are here with me. And today we're going to be talking about the Red War. For those of you that don't know, Destiny 2, the very first main campaign storyline, is called the Red War. And it is where the Legionnaires, I always call them Legionnaires or Phalanxes. I think they're called the Cabal. I'm pretty sure. They basically invade Earth and try to steal the light from the Traveler. And it's a really good storyline. Really, really solid. It has a lot of moments in it that really make you think. You know, like, not trying to spoil too much because I want new players to get in, you know. If new players accidentally find this because they follow my channel already or something. But there's moments in it like at the shortly after the very beginning, you end up in the city that Destiny takes place in, where the tower is. And the city's kind of in ruins, and the Cabal are bossing around refugees and like shooting people in the street and stuff. And it's just a very heavy scene to play through, especially in an RPG. And I think that's part of what makes Destiny so good at its core, is that you get scenes like this. Because, I mean, obviously, these are the same people that made Halo. And for a lot of us, the story of Halo is big, right? Like, we grew up with it. We really enjoy it. But this one was huge. And, of course, for those of you that don't know, in September, they're going to be putting some of this content in the vault. Now, the reason that they're doing that is basically to, what's the word? Try to make the size of the game smaller. So for right now, like, say you went on Xbox right now and downloaded it, or PlayStation or PC or whatever, you could you would have to download like 105 to 109 megabytes depending on where you were, and that's before the expansions. Now, the expansions obviously aren't that big. I think they're only like 10 megabytes a piece, because really what you're buying with the expansion pass isn't so much the expansion. You're buying a key to unlock the content that's already on your console, which is, some would say it's a shady business practice, but I don't really think so. I think that it's good that they put it in the base download, because then you can see like bow and arrows and weapons and armor that other people have, and it'll make you want to get the expansions, because you're like, oh man, that armor's cool, but it's from Forsaken, so if I want to wear it, I need to pick up the Forsaken expansion pack. But anyway, that stuff's getting moved to the vault. I don't know exactly what's getting moved to the vault. I haven't read that yet. But I do know stuff is getting moved there, so if you're wanting to play through the Red War, probably Osiris, Warmind, maybe Forsaken even. I doubt Shadowkeep, but maybe up to Forsaken. Then you may want to go ahead and You can go over to, what is her name? Amanda Hawthorne, I want to say. She's over in the ship bay. It's the blonde woman who drives she works on ships. It's over in the ship bay. So, like, if you're in the tower and you're a new player and you're wanting to play through these, you go back up to where the ships come in at, right? So as soon as you spawn in the tower, look behind you, and then you'll see a door off to the right, and you just follow that corridor all the way around, and she'll be in there. You can purchase the keys to starting these quests from her. They're free. So, but if you want to play through them, I very much recommend it, because if you start a new character now, it's going to start you at 750 light, and it just kind of skips those first three. It skips Red War, Osiris, and Warmind. So, I definitely recommend you picking up those and playing them. But back to Red War, it's a very deep story. And I know that a lot of people are probably sitting there thinking, like, no, it's not really. I mean, it's a big bad guy who comes and wants to do big bad guy things, right? Like, he wants to take away the biggest thing that you have. But if you really think about it, man, like, it's a very deep story compared to what we had in Destiny 1. And I'm going to be going over Destiny 1 on the anniversary of its release date. But, like, with Destiny 1, we did have story beats. And if you read the grimoires and stuff, you got the lore. But I don't think we ever had anything quite that deep. It was very much a story of, like, impending doom. And it makes you feel so much more heroic when you get to the end of it. And I think that that's kind of what's missing through some of these newer storylines. I loved Red War a lot, and I loved the story that it told a lot. And I hope that we can get back to some storytelling like that. If I'm looking at it from a story perspective, Red War, Osiris, Forsaken is the best stories of the expansion. So if you're one of these people who like to play campaigns for the story, that's your top 3, because they're the best stories being told. The best for overall content is a whole different thing. But, man, I really enjoy... Number one, I enjoy the fact that the Cabal means something with this storyline. Because in Red War, you take the Cabal... So, like, in Destiny 1, for example, the Fallen, they were kind of the ones that you originally had to worry about. And then the Cabal became a threat to the player a little bit, but then it immediately became the Hive and then the Taken. And the Cabal didn't really get their chance to shine. But in Destiny 2, they come in looking strong. I mean, they're supposed to be a military race, right? So for those of you that haven't played Destiny, if you've ever played Mass Effect, think like the Krogans, kind of. They're big, brutish, very physical race of aliens who are war people. That's what they do. Like, they fight and they take things over, right? So it makes complete sense that they should be able to just come in and throw a coup and do a surprise attack and take what they want. And of course, anybody who's played the campaign knows that ultimately they don't really get what they want completely. But apparently, through what I've learned from some of the lore channels, they're still very much going after it. And I don't know, man. There's just something so special. And part of it, I'm sure, is because of the fact that we were all so excited for Destiny 2. Whenever it come out, we were all like, oh man, what are they going to do? What is this going to be? But, I don't know, it's just so special. It's really... Like I said, I have to keep coming back to it. It's such a story of worry. And it's beautiful because, like, in Destiny 1, we get to feel like gods, basically, right? Like, by the end of it, whenever Destiny 2 was getting ready to come out, your character was, like, max leveled. I had 3 max level characters, right? I know most of you guys did too if you played. And you had your swords, and you had everything, like, all your guns max level, and, like, you just felt like a boss. And then at the very beginning of Destiny 2, they take you from being a boss to being just absolutely weak. And you watch yourself get defeated. You watch yourself become weak. And it's a very strong story beat. And the redemption arc that your character goes through to get their light back, to try to save this last city in the remnants of a race of humans who once went through a golden age. And now it's up to you, the player, to save everything before it gets lost again. It's such a big story. It's a huge, monumental story. And I really believe that I couldn't think of a better campaign to start out Destiny 2, because this story takes you, whether you're an experienced player who had the max level character like we were saying, who felt like a god among men and women, of course, or if you're a new player, you get diminished to nothing. And it's really telling that story, because if you go back and you look at it, in the beginning, if you play through it now, you're going to have whatever gear you have. But in the beginning of Destiny 2, you started with, like, it looked like max level ceremonial type gear. And you had good weapons. And then all of a sudden you're reduced to nothing. And whenever you get to look at your gear again, it's broken. That nice gear that you had set back to dirt. And you have to start rebuilding again. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful storytelling tool. Especially the light levels. Light levels are a beautiful storytelling tool, because in the blink of an eye, you can reduce someone to nothing. Because our level is all based on our gear, right? Like, my character's only a level 1008 because of the gear that I have. So, if something like the Cabal came and they beat me to the point that my gear wasn't worth anything, I would be right back at ground zero. And that's what you see happen in the beginning of the Red War story. And of course, there's other story beats. You know, the speaker for the Traveler, who, if you played in Destiny 1, you got to know him really well, because you had to go talk to him to turn in quests and stuff. You get to see his arc fulfilled. And it's just a beautiful story. And they gave the enemy, the main bad guy, the big bad guy. You know, there's a saying in, like, because I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and there's a saying that, like, undead are the perfect enemy because they are the quote-unquote perfect bad guy, right? You can't feel for the undead. The undead's motives aren't those that you could align yourself with and see their perspective. But with the big bad in Red War, the leader of the Cabal, he has a motive. He has a reason to want the light. And it makes you, when you see those cutscenes, the first time I watched them, of course, I'm in the moment of, this is Destiny 2, and I'm going to go get him, and I'm going to go fix all of this. But if you go back and play through it again, you see that he has a reason. He was the runt of his litter. He was left to die. And he rose to the ranks of being over this band of Cabal. And he wants the light so that all the other Cabal can deny him no longer, because he wants to prove all of them wrong. That is wonderful motivation for a bad guy. Now, I'm not taking away the fact that, him attacking the city, him destroying everything that we come to know. I'm not saying he's not evil. And I'm not saying that he's not a bad guy. I'm saying that, having a bad guy who has a motive, it makes him feel, for a lack of a better word, more human. It makes him feel like he has a personality. His story means something. And the Red War is an amazing, amazing, amazing campaign. Truly a piece of art. It's masterful. And I look very much forward to the next expansion that comes out. But first, I can't wait to talk to you guys about Osiris, Warmind, Forsaken, and Shadowkeep. And I'm probably going to do Osiris and Warmind together, because they're both kind of short. But that doesn't mean that they're not good. And that's probably what we'll talk about in the next episode. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Drew. You guys have been great. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Guardians.